Welcome to Oscar Films in 5 Minutes, breaking down the best of the Best Picture nominees. I'm Dan Drake, and in this video, we're looking at Promising Young Woman by director Emerald Fennell. What's it about? Is it worthy of Oscar nomination? And most importantly, is it worth your time? Let's put 5 minutes on the clock and a spoiler warning on the screen. Here we go. Promising Young Woman follows a young woman traumatized by a tragic event in her past as she seeks out vengeance against those who crossed her path. It's equal parts revenge thriller, horror movie, dark comedy, and for about 8 minutes, rom-com. But the clever use of Roman numeral text overlays and flawless music choices help make this unpredictable chameleon of a film flow from tone to tone without missing a beat. I mean, listen to some of these music choices. This is one of the most complex, emotionally affecting, and frustrating films of the year. But before we get into all that, I just have to say that the cast is fantastic. Carey Mulligan plays Cassie to perfection, perhaps her best role of her career. She completely sells all the nuance of a character obsessed with revenge, stuck in the past, and yet slowly starting to consider moving on and falling in love. Adam Brody, Sam Richardson, Chris Lowell, and Schmidt are almost too convincing as sex-crazed male patriarchy representing slime balls for comfort. Alison Brie and Connie Britton are somehow immediately unlikable. Laverne Cox gets to just play a woman with no mention of her gender identity, which is awesome, and she is amazing as hell as always. Alfred Molina plays an important role that I'll explain in a moment, and the chemistry between Mulligan and Bo Burnham is absolute magic from the very first cup of spit. This movie looks incredible with its bright, sweet, almost candy-inspired color palette, which serves as the perfect juxtaposition for the dark subject matter and communicates that Cassie lives in a version of our world that is perfect, poppy, and overly glossy. And this perhaps is a manifestation of and a commentary on the way advertising in society caters to male fantasies. One of my favorite visual metaphors in this movie is this shot. In the Christian tradition, Jesus Christ was crucified as a sacrifice to save the world. Those martyred become saints in the church, and the saints and Christ are usually painted with these halos in religious art. Those who have seen the film know exactly how relevant that is for the ending, which I will spoil now. Cassie is killed. Perhaps you could even say martyred for her cause. When Cassie is murdered, literally suffocated by the patriarchy, I was completely shook. Not only because the film pulls no punches, which is extra jarring since the film up to that point has never directly shown violence on screen, but because I kept expecting her to be pretending, to rise up and kill the guys. I mean, why would a movie about this subject matter kill its protagonist? It almost seems at cross purposes with the larger meta-narrative the film is telling. And then we get the really hard pill to swallow. Throughout a film that goes out of its way to communicate just how much justice systems swing in favor of white men, giving them basically carte blanche to abuse as they please, and how inept law enforcement is at holding abusers accountable, the film then relies on the cops to swoop in and save the day? What is meant to be a victorious ending of Cassie defeating the bad guys from beyond the grave comes off as those inept police getting all the credit, and thereby showing that this broken system can be trusted to enact justice. It doesn't fully work, but this ending actually does kinda work for me. Here's why. It gives Alfred Molina's character redemption. Alfred Molina's character is the only good man in the film. And the reason he's good is not because he's innocent, it's because he's truly full of remorse. Now, I don't love how this insinuates that true remorse has to drive a person to the brink of insanity to be genuine, but I do find it interesting that the movie has this character at all. And it's even more interesting after we learn that Ryan, the other potential good one, is just as big a douchebag as all the others. Having the opportunity to help Cassie get revenge from beyond the grave gives his character arc closure, and hopefully helps him find some forgiveness and get some sleep. The ending of this movie puts the fate of those abusers in our hands. It asks us, will we continue to stand for a world where these abusers will just make bail and probably go free? Or will we rise up and demand that society change? Promising Young Woman is nominated for Best Picture, Best Actress, Best Director, Best Screenplay, and Best Editing. If you liked this video, you can click here for the rest of the Oscar series, or you can click over there to subscribe. And don't forget to check out patron-only exclusives over at our Patreon page. As little as $1 per month gets you instant full access. This has been Oscar Films in 5 minutes, and this is Dan Drake signing out.